pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play.
And I don't know if they kicked their butt in the first part of the series, but certainly in Game 3. The best team, the best talent doesn't always win. The best team showed up last night. So do you think this is going to turn? I told you yesterday it's not going to happen. I think that there's too much grit. I think Miami comes back and is tough, plays desperate, plays better, finds somebody else. I don't think they're getting Tyler Hero back, but I think they're getting Gabe Vincent back, don't you? And damn, dude, what a difference not having your point guard makes.
You hope, because the one thing that they really can struggle offensively.
Yes.
They really can.
Especially if Jimmy Butler's not going nuts.
Jimmy Butler's not going supernova, and you're already down Gabe Vincent. Kyle Lowry wasn't good. This is a team that is going to need Jimmy Butler to score 45 points for them to win Game 6. Like one of those performances.
Yeah. All right, we're here for you today. 505-246-0610. It's area code 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also the Sports Animal text line. You can get in there. Emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. They're already coming in. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com on the Twitter. _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. The show is up there. You can watch it there. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. It's on our Facebook page. It's on Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Guest list today, 9 o'clock today, 9 o'clock. Nick Nee, the director of golf out at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club, is going to be with us. We'll get you a golf tip going into Memorial Day weekend. You get a tee time? I mean, there's 3 days. The weather's going to be beautiful. I don't think we're here Monday, right?
We're not.
All right. You get a tee time yet?
Gonna have to call the golf club.
Might have to call the golf club. Nick will get you there, and we'll get through. I'm really interested to hear what he has to say about Michael Block and the experience that we talked about. We watched at the PGA Championship. Michael Block is in the Charles Schwab, and to say Michael Block is a club pro and not a touring pro, right? He had a great week last week, and I'm going to guess that all the everything, just the travel, the interviews, the emotion, the everything got to Michael Block. While Harry Hall is winning at -8. Michael Block is 11 over. He is dead last out of 120 golfers. Shot an 81 yesterday. Now, dude's still there. He had a rough back nine, JJ. He shot a 44 on the back. A lot of us post 44s, right? He was 9 over on the back. 2 over on the front. Okay. All right. Other dudes were 2 over on the front. And he came in double, par, double. He was 6 over on the last 4 holes. That you know what that says to me? That just screams exhaustion. That just screams, holy smokes, it got to me.
Life comes at you fast, and this is one where it was easy to see. It's an awesome story. Got the exemption in the Charles Schwab, and probably not playing the weekend.
Yeah, no, he's not going to play the weekend. The projected cut is even. He's 11 over. But, look, you're going to see him at the Canadian Open. You're going to see him probably at a few others. And if he plays well at the Canadian, the story will still be there. Was it you yesterday you were saying, like strike while it's hot, man. Yeah. Take the million here, take the million there, because you're going to become Michael Block again, a dude who hits a bucket of balls a week. And
this guy winds up on bridges.
as good as your week was at the PGA. And by the way, it was phenomenal. I had a buddy call me from Indiana yesterday. Like, I just want to talk about Michael Block. How cool is that story? Yeah, it was one of the coolest stories, period, ever. And as cool as it was, but holy smokes, right? Strike while it's hot. And but I'm looking forward to talking to Nick about that. All right. biggest story, the biggest reason. What do you take out of it? Celtics last night. Do you think they're going to win the series? Like, are they the betting favorite to you right now?
This is one that it's been so in the moment.
Right.
Of usually want to take a step back and understand there can be massive swings within a 7-game series, but how dramatically differently these teams have looked in their wins and losses. Like the last two, it doesn't look like Miami should be an Eastern Conference Final team. But then we see game
but the
three.
First three, Boston did.
Then it was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And you're like, how is Boston not showing up? How are we not getting this? And I really do think that this is a fascinating look at everything everyone has been trying to break down. A young coach, is it on the players? Who's it on? Because no one thought they could refocus this in this series down 3-0. All right, you got one. Maybe Miami was looking ahead, but then they came right back and put on that same performance. Now, there's some hurdles in the way for Miami. Of course, losing your starting point guard, that affects your offense, that affects your flow.
How big of a deal is that?
I think it's a big deal, but I also think that we're seeing the best out of the Celtics. When you have all 5 starters scoring in double figures, again, they're setting the tone defensively. They're not just going out there going, all right, we're going to take a bunch of threes and hopefully try to outscore you. They're playing hard. And who knows why sometimes it takes having your back all the way against the wall to find it, but Boston has found it.
So you had Derek White with 24, Jason Tatum with 21, Jaylen Brown with 21, Marcus Smart with 23, and then Al Horford double digits and rebounds with 11. He had 6 points, 11 rebounds yesterday. You get 4 dudes scoring 21 plus. That's pretty solid. That's 97, 8, 9. That's 89 points right there. 89 points, damn near just did it in its own right. And then you get, some solid performances off the bench. You get good minutes from Robert Williams, as you always do. And Al Horford was Al Horford. The play that defined it to me, he got a rebound, put it up, looked like he was falling down, got the rebound, kicked it out. They made the extra pass, got a 3. I think it was a Tatum 3. And it's like, it's over. It's over. As a consumer, it sucks. How many fourth quarters, how many just garbage time fourth quarters have we watched the playoffs? Or at least been offered? Like, I watched the hockey, because we're going to get there, too. The hockey was so much better last night, by the way. Did you watch the hockey?
I watch it. It's postseason, man. There's a lot of games you're going to get your blowouts
Garbage.
one way or the other.
Garbage.
In every sport.
Yeah, no, it was some bad fourth quarters. All right, we're going to get into it. Do they lose confidence? And I'm really curious where you all are on this. Do you think that it's a Celtics series now? Do you feel that they've completely swung it? Do you think that the Heat still have nothing to worry about because they're going back to Florida and they've been really good in Florida? 505-246-0610. When we come back, did the Heat lose confidence? One of their stars will tell you. That's next. It's the opening drive on a Friday morning. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
85.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Does getting run out of the Bills, do you lose confidence? Celtics outscored the Heat 35-20 in the first quarter, 26-24 in the second, so they were up 17 points at halftime, and never let up. I mean, look, you can look at the score and say 110-97. Wow, okay. They were never in this game. It was 15-5. It was like 20-8 or something. I mean, they were never in it. And so, do you lose confidence in the Heat? JJ, after the game, Bam Adebayo was asked, did you lose confidence? Bam Adebayo had 16 points, 8 rebounds, and turned the ball over 6 times. Quote, why would we lose confidence, end quote. I'm with him. Now, why would you lose confidence? Because you just lost the last 2. You just got run out of the build. Do you go back? This is, and I don't know why this has become kind of my thing lately, but I guess it has. The whole, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So who are they? Right? Do I believe the first 3 games? Do I believe the last 2 games? Am I supposed to believe the most recent? Because that's what it is now.
It's in the middle. That's it. It's the truth of it. Like, yeah. The Boston Celtics are good enough against this group of Miami Heat dealing with their injury problems to be the first to do it. And so the Heat are sending the right message. Bam, Jimmy Butler, they're cool, calm, and collected.
I'm not worried about Jimmy Butler.
I'm worried about everyone else being able to make plays.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm worried about them too. Who do you got in game? What is it, 6? Who do you got right
Celtics.
now? So you think they're going to do this? Huh?
Yeah.
You think they're going to be the first team in history to come back and do this? 150 times it didn't happen, and they'll be the first one. I'm going to hold on to the Heat thing with the grit, and boy, somebody's got to score though. You know, I look at the box score, and I know what I watched, and Jimmy Butler only took 7 shots. Bam Adebayo had 16 points. Duncan Robinson, okay. I mean, they pull a guy out of the freezer because they're getting nothing. They get Haywood Highsmith. Do you know where Haywood Highsmith went to school? Any idea? And if I tell you, you're going to know where it is.
Highsmith.
Haywood.
If you say
Haywood Highsmith had 15 points last night.
Hey, came in the second half, started hitting some threes for him.
Second season out of.
Well, when you said if I'm going to tell you where it is, are you even going to know where it is?
Yeah.
Whew.
Wheeling Jesuit. I mean, I've heard of a lot of schools, dude. You going to look it up? Wheeling. Wheeling Jesuit. If you can ball, they will find you. But, I mean, are you relying on Haywood Highsmith? You took him out of the freezer. He hadn't played. Right? Caleb Martin, okay. He played 32 minutes at 14 points. Like nobody played well. And when this is as streaky a game as there is. I think basketball is the most momentum-driven game, right? More so than baseball, more so than football. Crowds get into it. You get on a run. I firmly believe, and I believe this for a long time, I don't believe this to be conscious. I believe that when teams get on runs, I think referees get caught up in it. You start getting the benefit of a call here and there. It's just momentum builds in a building. And Boston got on a run, and Miami got on whatever the opposite. What's the opposite of a run? A drought, a slump, whatever it is. But can it turn back in Florida? Yeah, I think it can. Where's Wheeling Jesuit?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You're right, and that's why people scream about timeouts so much. That's why people look at runs and did a coach call a timeout? What happened? How did the team not respond? Are you a coach that lets your team play through something?
Wheeling, West Virginia, by the way.
And we've seen that in this series with the Boston Celtics, and people question, well, why did you call a timeout? The Miami Heat were on that huge run, the momentum within a game. Right now, we're just seeing the Celtics play team basketball and realize together they are very, very good.
And the extra pass is good they're defensively. So now, is the conversation different 3 days later than it was 3 days ago about Joe Mazzulla? Joe Mazzulla was being outcoached. Joe Mazzulla was in over his head. Joe Mazzulla was given this position because they had nowhere else to go, and it was time, and he's getting outcoached by Eric Spoelstra. That was a fair conversation. And actually, I mean, to me, there's not a comparison. Is Eric Spoelstra a better coach than Joe Mazzulla? Yeah. But Joe Mazzulla's turned his team around over the last two games. Ball's in Eric Spoelstra's court. Is the conversation on Joe Mazzulla different now? Certainly. Do you feel different about him as a coach than you did a few days ago?
You have to, because the question was, did he lose his team? Is he able to connect with his team? And from the get-go of when we started to see the warts with the Boston Celtics, you could question what they've done throughout the postseason. I still didn't think it was the end of Joe Mazzulla. But what you're seeing, too, I think, is a combination of, yes, it's a really young coach, but a team that is taking it upon themselves in this moment that they have to be better for their young coach. They were in these situations last year. They went to the NBA Finals. So they can listen to their head coach, but they understand that there's a different edge that they have to have as a team as opposed to that huddle you're getting with Eric Spoelstra and company. Like, this has to be everyone rising to the occasion and not just sitting back and pointing fingers. And I credit the Celtics down 3-0. They could have did that. They could have easily rolled over after getting blued out the built in Game 3, and they did not do that.
Run. Just run. And they didn't. They look like a team after Game 3 defeated. Like defeated, stunned, like a staggering boxer, right? I mean, they look to me like a boxer who was punch drunk that was staggering in a ring.
Absolutely.
And they came back. He's got to get some credit. He's got to. Now, did he make shots yesterday? He didn't make one. But they've got to get some credit on this. All right. We're here for you on this. So if you want to get in on what went down last night, you're welcome at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. So you're there. We're there for all of that. A couple other NBA things, and we didn't hit this yesterday. Phoenix Suns evidently are down to 4 finalists for their head coaching job. and Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers. I mean, we're hearing some of the names. Who's the right guy for that job? Who's the right demeanor to go in there and deal with Kevin Durant? There's one of their current assistants, Kevin Young, King's assistant, Jordy Fernandez, Doc Rivers, and Nick Nurse. That's who's reported for that. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know Jordy Fernandez. I don't. And I'm not going to pretend I know about Kevin Young. Do you need a veteran coach to go in there for the mix of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and whatever you got to do to get DeAndre Ayton on the page and then start cobbling pieces together? Nick Nurse feels right, doesn't he?
Doc Rivers.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's where they're going to go? You think this new young owner who got into it with your boy Nikola Jokic is going to go with the guy who's why Doc Rivers more than Nick Nurse? Why?
To me, this feels more about managing as opposed to coaching.
Okay, so this feels like
because they let go of the best coach available.
I think that's right. Okay, I think that's 100% right. Although I really like Mike Budenholzer, but I think Monty Williams is terrific. But okay, go.
I don't think a first-time head coach is going to work.
I
Those
agree with
expectations,
that. Right?
And trying to figure out Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. So to me, Nick Nurse, I said he had the quiet experience, so he kind of gets that superstar mentality, which is what you're dealing with Kevin Durant. But to me, it would be down to those two.
So this feels like a situation to me in which Doc Rivers is typically placed. But how successful was he with the Clippers and the Sixers doing that? He got fired at both places because they didn't meet expectations. This isn't a place where they're looking for a system now or a process or a time frame. This is a place where they're looking to win like now, right? And you're going into a loaded West. You go look it up and down, right? Clippers are going to be good, you think, if they stay with Kawhi and he gets healthy. The Warriors, the Lakers, the Nuggets, in no particular order. For crying out loud, look what's going on here. I got Kevin Durant. What makes you think that Doc Rivers is going to get you over the top?
To me, I got to go veteran in this.
Okay.
And so, Nick Nurse, if you fire Monty Williams, then I'm not going to sit here and think you're going to make the right decision on next coach.
That's fair. That's totally 100% fair.
There's no reason to fire Monty Williams. None.
I can't agree with you more on that.
Because the team everyone thought was going to be awesome just because Kevin Durant was there, was it? And then you see, oh, maybe they do need a little bit more around the edges. Because you had to trade everything to get Kevin Durant. So maybe give him an off season to put those pieces in there. And then next year, let's get on the board of looking at Phoenix going, you know what, they could be the favorites in the Western Conference.
Yeah. No, I can't agree with you more on it was a huge mistake to fire him. But they did, and so here we are. I just all right, let me ask you this. Who was more roster-wise, complete roster, not 1-2 guys, who was more roster ready to be in the NBA Finals and play for a championship, the Sixers or the Suns? Because I would argue the Sixers.
Yeah, once Chris Paul went down.
Yes. Yep. And they got to the same place, right? They got to the same spot. Okay? And the Suns got beat by the Nuggets, correct?
They did.
Team that's playing for the championship. Now, and the Sixers got beat by the Celtics, who might be. All right? So they both fire their coach. You're going to tell me if I'm Phoenix, somehow I'm going to go get the guy who their team probably was better positioned to get to the finals than my team. Their team got to the same place that my team did. They fired their coach, so I'm going to take their coach instead of mine? It makes no sense to me.
What sense does any of this make?
None. The whole Monty Williams thing blows my mind. And I don't know if this was a Chris Paul thing. Like, was there an issue with a player, or is it just a new young owner that said, "I got billions of dollars. It's my team. I'm going to."
That's the feeling I get from it.
then he deserves what he gets. If that's the case, then dude deserves what he gets, don't you think?
Yes.
And I just don't know where they're going. But I don't understand why you would go Doc Rivers here. And I'm not telling you I think Doc Rivers is a bad coach. But I've watched, I mean, how many times, right? He's won a championship. And I've said that a million times. You're right. He will always be a championship coach, and he did it a decade ago with the Celtics. But what has he done with a lot of talented rosters since? And what's the knock on him?
Comes up short.
And what just happened? You came up short once with an injured team, with a depleted team, and you traded everything away. So why would you go there? Makes no sense to me. Now, there's plenty of you who are saying, well, why go with a retread? Is Nick Nurse a retread? I don't know. Should he have gotten fired in Toronto anyway? To me, he's kind of like the Monty Williams thing. I don't know that I think I would have fired him either.
I think Toronto's a team that they well, not championship expectations. That roster should have been better this season, so I don't know what was off, because you have a really solid core, like top 6 good, like outside of losing in the play-in tournament like they did when you have Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, like, and so I wonder from Toronto if they're looking at it and saying, is this just one where they felt that they hit their ceiling and there was nowhere else to go? Because I think Nick Nurse has proven, all right, you give him a good team with a star player, he can win it. So if I'm Nick Nurse and Doc Rivers, I'm going to take Nick Nurse. But in this situation,
I want Monty Williams.
Like to get Monty Williams back. He's not there. Who knows who's in this young owner's ear? But it could be Doc Rivers, man. It really could end up being Doc Rivers.
Yeah, and it could be, and I think it would be a bad move, and they deserve what they get. All right, when we come back, and the phone lines are open at 505-246-0610, you're starting to use them. Flopping's been an issue in basketball, period. But this is a horrible idea. This is going to be worse than the problem. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there as La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get one run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something.
Sports Animal.
Officiating's hard. Being a referee is hard. Pick your game. NFL, you can call holding on every play. NBA, there could be something on every time down the court. It's hard. Do we need to make it harder? NBA referees are watching for block, charge, reach, travel, carry. Watching for flagrant 1, flagrant 2. Let's look at the video. It's hard, man. Do we need to make it hard? Flopping in the NBA and in basketball is real, right? College basketball has instituted this flopping rule. You've seen it over the last couple of years, and it's a flop. It goes the other way. It's a technical foul. The NBA is looking to do it. So the NBA's got an idea now that they're going to consider in-game penalty for flops. It would result in a technical free throw. Okay? They're considering trying it out in summer league. It kind of stems from all the flopping, and Steve Kerr during the Lakers series, the Warriors head coach, said in FIBA, that's the international basketball, there's a flop rule. And if a referee deems a player's flop, they call it a technical. He said it's pretty penalizing. And so the flopping's been basically eliminated from FIBA. We got the ability to do the same thing in the NBA. Look, sometimes it's obvious. Most of the time it's not. There's some contact. How much contact makes a guy going down, JJ? Guys are off balance. There's no way he could fall from that. I don't know what's a flop. I don't know. Well, sometimes I do. Yeah. Sometimes you do. But, I mean, when a guy's off balance, gets hit and goes down and is going to get called for a flop, now we're legislating, we're regulating, we're adjudicating, basically asking these referees to do more and more and have them try to rule on what the intent of another human being is, and you just don't know what's going on.
Anytime there's more decisions placed on a referee, there's always some hesitation, but I know it's extremely frustrating, and it's a problem for a lot of people when they watch the NBA. Some people say they don't even watch NBA basketball because of what goes on. Thought you're supposed to get fined for this stuff. There was supposed to be the fines, get hit in the wallet.
Well, this goes back to the 2012-2013 season where they first put this in, where players were given a warning on their first flopping penalty and then $5,000 to $30,000 fines after that. But again, it was going to be determined by video review. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I'm all for trying to slow down flopping, but adding another review.
Yeah, how do you determine intent? And a guy's off balance and gets there's contact and he goes down. I mean, I hate it. But I hate the flopping too. But I hate this too. So will this eliminate it? I don't know that it will. All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Edward, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Hey, well, thank you for having me. First and foremost, and most importantly, happy Memorial Day weekend to all your fans and people who listen. As my stepfather served in the Great One, WW2 in the South Pacific, and not a lot of those guys around anymore, right? Yep. It's a great generation. So if you see war veterans or veterans in general out, just give them a thanks. Just say thank you. Hey, good luck to A. Lister, A. Maria. She moves on to a different scope of work, and she served the program well, and I wish her all good things. Listening to your show earlier this week, just quickly, I really like Ned James. I think that his stories are very entertaining, but to listen to him for 3 days say the quarterback is overrated, I just don't understand it. It's a dichotomy to my brain. In the modern era of football, which I quantify as the salary cap era of 1994 and beyond, when post the time when they would run the ball on 3rd and 8, there's only a small sampling of quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl, 2 of which played for the Baltimore Ravens, Flacco, and then I forget the other guy's name when they had that great defense.
Trent Dilfer.
And then Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl, and those were all great defenses. But all the data points to you have to build a strong roster, but if you don't have a quarterback, you got no shot. And there's 2 recent data points the last 3 years where you had a team that had great rosters. They brought in a great quarterback, and both of them won the Super Bowl. So I think my thought process is diametrically opposed. But, Ned, I hope you're listening, and I do enjoy your stories and embellishments. They're really good. So thank you for sharing. Quickly on the NBA, Boston may survive and win a 3-0 series. They have absolutely no answer for Jokic when they play him. He's going to annihilate them. And I like Tatum. I think he has a very diverse skill set. I don't really like his antics at times, but he's a genius player, a great offensive skill set. And I think the Heat are going to find a way to win Game 6. And maybe my boy Tyler Hero, you're my hero, may play in the finals, but probably not. Hey, guys, thank you for being always available and great content, and enjoy your weekends and be safe.
Right on.
Have a great weekend.
See you. Trent Dilfer was the other one. We guys having a conversation about how you can win without a quarterback with a great defense. Is that kind of where that was?
Ned was trying to have that conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's been done a few times, right? It was done. It's been done. So to say you have no shot would be wrong because it's been done. He's right. It was done with the Trent Dilfer team. I think Joe Flacco was good that year. I would argue
unbelievable postseason.
Yeah, I would argue on that one. Brad Johnson, that team had a good defense. Jim McMahon, when he won with the Bears, that defense was historically good. What's that?
When was that?
80 something. Why? Is that ancient?
How many years ago is that?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, it my point is, it can be done, but it can't be done sustainably. Right? I mean, yeah. Can it be done? Yeah. If I look back,
San Francisco 49ers.
How about your team? All right, your team went. You tell me all the time that the Broncos.
Yeah, that last year defense. It's few and far between. It's not a valid argument to stand on. Going back to what Edward was talking about, thinking quarterbacks are overrated. Ned and I going back and forth on just some of the contracts and in team building, because it's not. San Francisco tried last year. We're gonna bold strategy, play without a quarterback. See what happens.
Can't play without a quarterback.
No, but no, it's you can't compete. The NFL right now, you're not winning just with a good defense.
So the last one that did it would be it would be the Broncos, right? In 2016. Because you tell me all the time Peyton Manning didn't win that. It was all about their defense. They won in spite of Peyton Manning, right? Is that what I hear?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It
was the caretaker quarterback.
Yeah. Can it be done? Who was the Ravens quarterback at 13? That was Joe Flacco?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't happen a lot. When did the Bears do it with Jim McMahon? A while back now. It was, damn, how far back was that? That was 1986. Yeah. Look, can it be done? It certainly can. So to say you have no chance, I think, is wrong. But if that's your strategy, if you're going to say we're just going to go with a serviceable quarterback because our defense is so good, you're probably not going to do it. It happens maybe once a decade, right? And that team does not repeat. That team does not come back. That team doesn't run it back like the Chiefs are doing, like the Steelers did a few times, like the Patriots did. No. That doesn't happen that way. So Ned's arguing that you don't need a great quarterback to be a
He just feels they're overrated.
How?
I don't know.
How? I mean, he's a quarterback. He's a smart football guy. Quarterbacks are overrated. So what team currently has been doing it without a great quarterback? What's his argument?
There's not a good argument for it.
Well, he's got to make one. I mean, it doesn't have to be good.
He just thinks there's way too much put on quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, I'd argue that I'd agree with him if he was saying that the teams reach for quarterbacks in drafts. that they gamble too much. I agree with that because, and I think history proves that. You can look at the history of the draft and see how many guys were taken at the top of the draft simply because they were quarterbacks and weren't very good, right? I'll agree with that. But to say it's the most important position in global sports. I won't even go American. I would go global. Now, I guess I don't know highlight very well. Maybe the whatever you call the pitcher in highlight might be more important. I honestly don't know. But to my knowledge, I mean, it's more important than the jockey. Might not be more important than the horse. More important than, I mean, anything in soccer, in basketball. Like it's the most important position in sports, right?
Yes, it is.
How can that be overrated, overblown, overvalued? That's interesting. All right, I'm listening. Speaking of that position, are you buying the Russell Wilson bounce back? Huh? Talk about that because, well, Russell Wilson needs to bounce back. Bronco fan, let's hear your thoughts. Certainly we'll give you ours. I want to tell you about IPS, International Protective Service, because you see them. If you go to a store now, you see them. If you go through a neighborhood, you see International Protective Service. You see their vehicles. Who are they? Well, it's affordable private security that are keeping businesses and homes safe from the bad guys. You understand that property crime's on the rise. You know that the number of bad guys has increased. The number of good guys has decreased. The response time continues to be an issue. So call IPS and see what they can do for you. I called them years ago. They watch my home. Right? I was gone this week. They came by a number of times. Do exterior checks. Make sure everything's okay. Monday was garbage day. They roll the garbage cans back up the driveway. If I have something delivered, they pick it up when I'm gone. Get it to me so somebody else doesn't get it. If my alarm goes off, and it has, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes. Armed, trained security officers. Now my neighbors use them. Look, IPS protects what you've worked hard to build. Don't let the bad guys just come in and destroy it. Call them, see what they can do for you with highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols, committed to our city, committed to your protection. International Protective Services number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. all of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast.
A season. Organized team activities season. Quarterbacks talk season. Yesterday we heard from Aaron Rodgers. Why are you in camp? What are you saying in camp? What are you going to do? Well, what about your Broncos? Why will your guy be any better? Why do people say they can't stand Russell Wilson? It's the opening drive. Jeff JJ DC's our producer. Say hello to him. Give him a call at 505-246-06. By the way, I got a text about you. This is from Dan. He says, does Derek Charles know what he's getting into? It's not Derek Charles, huh? It says, Jeffrey and Juan Jose, I've lost track of all the producers the OD has had since I've been listening, starting with Joseph. There was Julia and William Jefferson and Bernie Jean and Emlon. Bernie. Is Bernie and Bernie Jean the same person? Oh, Benny. That was Benny. Benny was here for 2 weeks. J-Ho. Is that Hoser?
Yep.
Micah. Gato Roberto. Ana Maria. Was there someone in between Hoser and Amory? I don't remember.
Micah?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's probably a few more. You're on a hell of a list now, dude.
We're like a European soccer team.
Is that good?
No.
Why are we like
coaches every month and a half?
Oh, okay. I'm like, wow. Shows you how much European soccer Are you a European soccer guy?
I love that reference.
I absolutely love European soccer.
Do you really?
I love Portugal specifically.
Why? Just, I mean, I'm curious. I'm not mad at you. I just, what makes Portugal so wonderful?
So their stadium, I've actually seen the game there.
Yeah.
It is electric.
All right. See,
they have this flag that they fly over the entire home side.
Yeah.
Every row. It's covered. They don't even serve alcohol because people get so crazy. It's an amazing.
Just bring your own.
They're
already loaded.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, no, of course not. I would never do that. What was the score?
Of the Portugal game, it was 3-2.
Oh, damn! You had a shootout.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Good. I imagine if I went to something like that, I'd have a favorite European soccer team. I got a couple buddies. You got to go. Like if I went to a real soccer game, I'd be fired up about it.
Come and join me sometime at UNM. Hang out with Heather.
All right,
great time.
I've been there too. I don't hate that at all. I don't hate soccer. I mean, at all. I was just curious, like if you got a favorite team, why? When there's an experience like that, yeah, damn right you do. All right, Russell Wilson is your quarterback. Are you buying the Russell Wilson comeback? You know I'm not, right? Are you buying the Russell Wilson comeback?
More and more I am.
Why?
Because I look at Sean Payton and how he handled an old Drew Brees in that offense and was able to squeeze out enough. The fact that I don't think we're going to see Sean Payton coming in and having necessarily this explosive, wide-open offense. I think he even understands where they need to go to maximize Russell Wilson at this point in time. The fact that it looks like Russell woke up a little bit and go, all right, maybe I got a little over my skis.
It ain't all about me.
Full of myself. Actually ate too many of those Subway sandwiches that I was selling. And so can he live up to top 5 paid quarterback in the league? Can he be that guy? No, but I think with Sean Payton, with Russell Wilson taking into account who he is, with a more ground and pound mentality, they'll have an effective offense in Denver.
All right, DC, what do you got? You got, this is Russ yesterday talking about, the next season and turning things around and what he's got to do.
I think first of all, you always reflect on every year, ever since you come into the National Football League, the things that you can always do better, things you can always work on. You always want to be in the best shape of your life. I'm ready for that. I feel better than ever. I think also too, mentally, there's always the journey. There's always the journey of the highs and lows. There's been a lot of highs. There's been some tough lows, but adversity, you got to be able to handle it all, and I'll be ready to handle it.
I don't know what the hell he just said. So, I actually really liked Russell Wilson. I loved his story. I loved a third-round guy that comes and wins a Super Bowl, that won a job that wasn't, number one pick. I love the way they did it. Has there been an athlete, and I don't dislike him now. I know a lot of people do. I just don't think he's that good. But has there ever been a guy who appears to have gotten so full of himself that he went backwards talent-wise? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like here's a guy that he felt so genuine and humble, and now feels so the opposite of that. It's so cringy, as Jim Rome says, and he is.
He can be
and
corny,
so
but that doesn't mean he's not
disingenuous.
Genuine.
Okay, it feels that way. I'm not like I don't know him. I want to continue this because it comes across. I'll tell you why. When we come back, I'll tell you why I use the word disingenuous without knowing him, and maybe it's not fair. Corny's probably best, right? But I'll tell you why. Because I don't know that I've got a comparison, and I'm curious. But what both you guys, you're both Bronco guys. I'm curious where you both are on this. And DC, you were a lot closer to the Russ thing than we were. You were in the middle of that. We're going to continue this conversation. Nick Nee's going to be with us at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk golf, Michael Block and the Charles Schwab, and get his reaction to the PGA Championship. Sweet deal for you coming up at 8:20 as well. It's the opening drive on the Friday before Memorial Day weekend on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday.
With 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Celtics are back in it. 110-97. They beat the Heat. No, they whooped the Heat last night. Jeff was only 13 points. No. I mean, yeah. But no. They dominated them last night. So we're having this conversation on the NBA, and are they Celtics back in it? But we're just talking about Russell Wilson and the Broncos. And do you buy the Russ comeback story? And I asked the question right before the break, and good Friday to you, and glad you're with us. We got to let you know about the Ho at some point. Do you know about the Ho? Are you familiar with the Ho?
I am ready for the Ho.
All right. You know you initiate that.
I do.
All right. Good. All right. DC is our new producer, and this will be his first Ho. You ever had a Ho? You ever hoed before? I'm just saying.
I'm gonna decline that.
All right. No, I mean everybody needs a good Friday. Ho. All right. So I asked, has there been a guy like Russ came in to the league so genuine, humble, and I don't. Would you say he's cringy, awkward? Do you buy that?
Especially last year, yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know if disingenuous is fair. It feels that way to me. That's just my read. I don't know him, but okay. What was more insincere than Broncos country? Let's ride. Broncos country? Let's ride. Broncos country.
Filming a promo, man.
I know. Well, I've thought about that a lot.
It's the press conference stuff, right?
Right. Each time we just got our ass kicked.
And then he tries to go with that.
And that's your
read the room.
It's like, that's where the disingenuous piece came to me.
You're trying to be the, hold your head up, stay positive, and don't always have to be that guy.
And Rome calls him cringy, and that's to me the best definition. Now, okay, if he'd have played well and was cringy, you wouldn't have a problem, right? He can be as cringy as he damn wants. I don't know. Is my read totally off on that? Well, you guys, TCV knew more so than us. You were in the middle of it. Like you were up there during the whole wrestling. How did you perceive him and that whole mess?
Well, that's a very difficult question. You have to understand they were selling the team at that time. So they needed the best quarterback possible to get the most money. Those kids didn't want that team. They wanted the money.
Okay, I got no problem. I don't think either one of us have a problem with the trade. When the trade went down, it looked like they were getting that guy. Now, they didn't in retrospect, and so at least after 1 year, I don't have a problem with the trade and them doing that whole thing. It's his act when he got there.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement at first, but the reality set in quickly that if you don't have an offensive line, you really don't have anything. So as the offseason continued...
Or a head coach.
Well, and that too, but I mean, seriously, Sean Payton isn't playing offensive line. They made one move on the line. So I just, right now I'm with you. I don't see I do not see the Broncos on the plus side of 9 wins.
How did Russ play in Denver? Like Russ, the personality.
Not well at all. Showing up with his own jersey, that did not go well. He has a shop in Cherry Creek that sells $400 jeans, and he's just very disconnected from the majority of Denver.
That's all I'm saying. See, that's what I felt like, right? And it felt like he was also disconnected from his locker room.
Oh, last year, no doubt. That was a dumpster fire from top to bottom for the Denver Broncos. And the quarterback was at the forefront of what was going on, thinking that, this is his time to really take over, and it's not. Like, you still have to, even for the guys that people don't like, there's a reason so many dudes still rally around Aaron Rodgers. There's a reason why people want Russell Westbrook in the locker room. Despite what everyone outside says, guys still gravitate towards certain people, and they were not doing that for Russell Wilson last year.
Yeah, and it almost feels like it was the opposite. And that's why when I said disingenuous, I kind of judge that. And maybe it's not fair, and I'll own it if it's not. But I judge it off of the way teammates speak about him, right? What other people say about him. And who's on one? You want me to take that? What other people say about it. Tony's a Bronco fan. I'm kind of curious where you are. Good morning, Tony. You're on these Sports Animal.
Good morning, gentlemen. I like that producer guy. You guys should have hired a producer that's a Bronco fan a long time ago.
Did we have one? We never had one?
You know what? I see big things in his future. I really do. But you know what, though? I don't go too much off of what teammates say, because teammates say that Draymond Green's a great teammate, and the dude is trash. And he's a bully, and he's a dirty player, and we all know this. But look, winning cures everything, and you know this. Everybody knows this. Had Russell Wilson, won 10 games and come out on fire, nobody would be saying anything.
But he didn't.
Now, as far as what is it about him, Jeff, that you don't – now, okay, hold on. Let me backtrack a little bit there, because I don't put anything past anybody. And just because they're celebrities and just because they're athletes or musicians, I don't put anything past anybody, man. And I don't, the only one I put up on a pedestal is John Elway, but that's a different story. But why don't you like him?
So
what is it about him?
Yeah, and here's the deal, and I was trying to think it through, and I'm not sure. Okay, and that's a bad answer. But and actually, I kind of do like him. I just cringe and I find him disingenuous. So I'm thinking, what does he do differently than Aaron Rodgers does? Now, do you like Aaron Rodgers? That's a whole other story, right? He goes to games and sits courtside just like they do. It's what he says, and more so to me, how he says it. And so, you know how there's an it factor? And I thought Russ had it in Seattle. And I just feel like he has totally changed his public persona with fame. And he's become, I thought he was a pretty genuine, hardworking, a humble, aw shucks guy then. And it feels to me like he's just a different cat now. And I'm not going to lie. He lost me. JJ, you're right. It was a promo, and it was a promo shoot. But, man, whoever came up with that, he should kick their ass, because I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to his image.
Okay, now, you got to know, sir, that half the stuff that he's saying is written for him.
No, I know, and that's why it's not fair. I know, but that's
because it's not. Because I'm going to say 90% of the athletes have somebody writing something for them. It's the ones that don't, where we scratch our head like, wow, did they really just let this dude say this on TV? You know what I mean? And I'm going to completely 100% honest. Russ, it was too much for anybody. Okay? And again, I've said this before, as a Bronco fan for the last 5-6 years, all we've been hearing is that the Broncos are a quarterback away, a quarterback away, a quarterback away. We get that quarterback. That's a lot, man. New team, new system,
Bad
new
coach. Bad
You're-
coach.
You're looked at as the savior. This is the missing piece. This guy's going to take us to the promised land, get us over the hump. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. This year, there's not a lot on him because all the attention is getting on Sean Payton. So you'll see, and I love it. I love it. I love that nobody's looking at Denver. There's some of these so-called analysts. Denver will win 6 games. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Tell me that we're only going to win 5.
Hey, let me ask you one question, Tony.
This is exactly where I want to be.
What'd you see from him last year that makes you think he's going to come back and be that guy?
It's a second season. That's what I see.
Okay.
The fact that he knows what to expect. He's already been there 1 year, and all the pressure's off.
Yeah,
The
fair enough.
focus
Well,
is
I don't
off
know
of
that's
him.
right. I don't know that's right. I don't know the pressure's off. The focus may be on the coach.
You
but
don't think the
he's-
pressure's off of him? Nobody's
Why?
expecting anything from him.
Well,
Just like
that
nobody was
franchise
expecting
is.
anything from the Celtics after they went down 3-0. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to come back and win the series, but 2 convincing wins
Yeah.
in a row,
All right.
no pressure.
Good to hear you, man. Thanks. All right. So, I got the more I think this through, the more irrational I am, and I'll own it. I mean, and I don't dislike him. I'll tell you what it is. I hear, and I'm kind of been thinking it through, and I've been listening to Tony. I just don't think he's got it left. I don't think he's a good quarterback, and so I think he's got the aura, the strut of a star, and he's not. And I actually kind of like Russ. I've always kind of liked Russ.
It's totally understandable to look at last year and just feel like at some point, even when you're trying to be the super positive guy, because that's not new. That's kind of who he was. Like the aw shucks, here we are. What we praise so many people for, being able to talk and say nothing. Like that's Russell Wilson. And so, but it was, you're struggling. Everyone can see from the get-go that this is not a great situation. Remember Tuesday morning after Monday Night Football? I came in and I was like, Nathaniel Hackett ain't that dude.
Is that the
And
9-6 game or whatever?
No, it was when they
that
the,
first game of the year.
That 88-yard field goal or whatever. It's like, we're going to be good. And,
Yeah.
and there's certain things you could just see. And people are like, you're crazy. You can't say that after one game. But then Russ still trying to be the let's ride guy after press conferences. Yeah. It gets to a point where you can just say, all right, it's enough. You got to stop. And I think for Russ that he realized it with his athleticism and being in better shape. He realized it was Sean Payton. Like, Sean Payton's not going to mess around and let Russ do all that stuff like Hackett was.
Bigger issue last year, Russell Wilson or Nathaniel Hackett?
It was both, because I don't think you saw the best version of Russell Wilson.
Oh, Nathaniel Hackett was
DC right to that team was maybe 2-3 years ago. They were a quarterback away. They weren't right now.
Are they now? Like currently?
No. Like they're in a point where hopefully you get good play from Russell Wilson as you figure out your offensive line and what talent you have on this roster.
Yeah, I just look at it and that's all. I don't dislike him. And so was he put in a tough spot last year to be the savior? I don't know. I mean, let me ask you this. And actually, when we come back, we're going to have this conversation because maybe it was just this. You think of quarterback coach combos over the years, right? Brady and Belichick. Well, Brady was good when he left. Montana and Walsh. Well, Montana, maybe it was at the end of the line. Is it? Did he need Pete Carroll? And Pete Carroll need him? I want to have that conversation when we come back at 505-246-0610. You're welcome to get in. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
You want a hoe? I think we missed hoe. Ho! All right, we'll figure out the break. See, this is what happens. Let's let him double the fuss of it. I will hoe at some point. Do you think Russ needed Pete Carroll more than you think?
Yeah. I think when...
Brought to you by
now we got a lot going.
in Pennsylvania.
Interest rates just keep increasing, but not at Quality Buick GMC on Lomas.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi, everyone. My name is...
I think A. Marie's got the number for how long we go. So DC maybe realize how stupid this is, and that's why we're going to keep doing it until we're not doing the show anymore. DC's our new producer. BB's back there helping him hoe because he needed help with his first hoe. Which, I mean, maybe we all did. I don't know. Or maybe we should have had help. He's like, so what? I just play the song and you guys yell into the mic for a while and that's it? And I'm like, wow, I guess that's kind of what we do every damn Friday, don't we? DC, this started out way back 15 years ago. Joe Gonzalez was our original producer and played that song. We've been hoeing on Fridays ever since. And didn't feel like Friday unless you... Oh, that was a Memorial Day hoe, wasn't it? All right, text line says the West belongs to the Superchargers. Enough of this Bronco talk. Your boy Josh. No, it doesn't. No, it just doesn't. All right, I'm going to ask. I want to go down this road. Do you think, and we'll find out, because Sean Payton is the perfect guy for this, but do you think some quarterbacks over the years, and others have had success, but when you think of Brady leaving Belichick and he had success, Montana and Walsh were tied together, but there's been quarterbacks over the years that really been tied to a coach. They've had a great relationship. How vital do you think Pete Carroll was to Russ? Now, the last year wasn't great. Did Russ just get kind of too big for himself, too big for that whole scene, too big for the rah-rah stuff that's Pete Carroll? Do you think that separation negatively affected Russ, or is that just that's a bunch of hooey? Hooey, I said. He said hooey.
I think it was the perfect storm of everything going wrong for Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos last year.
Right.
I think there's plenty on Russell Wilson himself.
Yep.
Maybe he was trying to be too much of the celebrity quarterback as opposed to just the quarterback. You go into a team that wasn't as good as they were in years past when everyone thought they were just a quarterback away. And thus, when you have Russell Wilson struggling, then he can't erase some of those mistakes maybe he could have a couple years ago on a team with the way that he would be able to play. Nathaniel Hackett, obviously not the guy to hold anyone accountable or keep anyone moving forward in that organization. So, yes, the grass wasn't greener for Russell Wilson. And then you take a step back and you go, all right, how did Seattle do? Well, they just got the best year out of Geno Smith.
Well, and they went to the playoffs with, and used some of the pieces that they got in that Russell Wilson trade to go to the playoffs. I think they're building something back up there. I think they are, that I think they're the quiet team in the NFC right now, right? When everybody tells me who the best teams, there's two teams that everybody mentions. It's the Eagles and the Niners. And then everybody kind of on the Lions. I think Seattle's the quiet next best team in the NFC. You got someone you like better than after those three? After people, you like the Cowboys better than them? Do you like? I mean, right? I think what they're doing there. That means that this year's a big year for Sean Payton. Now, not necessarily do or die year. I'm hardly telling you that. If it doesn't work with Russ, they're going to somehow find a way out of that, and they're going to get him a quarterback. But if he turns Russ around, he just increases his value, his reputation, his persona, the whole legend around him, right?
Yes, he does.
And maybe he does, and maybe he's the right guy.
Even if he doesn't this year, they're still going to give him that chance. They'll be like, oh, this is all Russell Wilson, and it's the biggest flop we've ever seen, but now we got to move on.
It's going to be interesting, right? We'll watch it. I wonder where y'all are. Like, do you buy into Russ and a comeback? All right, this one's on the Ned James conversation. It says, I think you two are missing Ned James's point. Ned James earlier was saying that you don't need the NFL quarterback is overrated, overvalued, that you don't need a great quarterback to win a Super Bowl if you have a great defense, right? That's kind of the point?
Yes.
And it's been done that way. And I think it's the most important position in sports. I think you two are missing Ned James's point. An NFL team does not need a great quarterback to win big. Bradshaw's Steelers proved that. He wasn't great, and his opponents were. Also, a Rodgers is much better the quarterback than is the annoyingly successful Tom Brady. Lastly, the hotshot John Elway lost many a Super Bowl, often by the widest margin. And James was referring to a team's need of serviceable good to great quarterbacks, with great being an unnecessary high end of the range, often judged by their fit with the team. So I don't know that I think Rodgers was that much better than the annoyingly successful Brady. He was more athletic, maybe more gifted, had a better arm. I don't know if he was better. History will tell you the opposite of that, but everybody's got their opinion. Were there great quarterbacks who didn't win big? Yeah, I think Dan Marino's the easy answer. I think Dan Fouts was a great quarterback. He never won. Yeah, Jim Kelly was a great quarterback. He never won. Yes. And were there good to marginal quarterbacks that did? Yes. So there's not a secret sauce, but certainly the majority, whether that emailer thinks Brady was great or not, they won 7 Super Bowls with him.
You can dislike Tom Brady. He is a prime example of what a quarterback means. You look at the last 23 years, quarterbacks have won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 or 4 instances we can go, all right, this was a team with a quote-unquote good quarterback. You still need good quarterback play. It's not...
So who was it? It was like Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco.
In the Broncos year, where it was just managing the situation.
But it was still Peyton Manning. Like you could tell me he wasn't great that year, but he was a great quarterback. He might not have been great then, but he was a great quarterback.
He was doing what Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson did in those years they won the Super Bowl.
Okay, but would we argue that his quarterback mind, maybe he wasn't physically great then, but his quarterback mind made him, he was still that great quarterback. He might not have been
not a great quarterback that year. He was not.
No, that year he wasn't a great quarterback, but he was a great quarterback, fine, with diminished skills. But do we agree that great quarterbacking isn't just about skills? Like physical skills. It's the reaction.
You can't be a great quarterback if you don't have the skills.
I think I agree with that. So
like his mind was fantastic.
My point is that was still a great quarterback, even though he physically was on the back end of his skill set, right? Mm-hmm. He was still a great quarterback. I know they won because their defense was great and all that, and people are going to tell me in spite of, and I don't totally buy that. But okay, but if we want to lump him in there, fine. Dilfer and him and Flacco and Mark Rippon and Brad Johnson and Bradshaw won 4. He's not wrong, by the way. Bradshaw wasn't like spectacular.
Yeah, but then the difference in the conversation is, in football, you can compete and win at a high level with a good quarterback. We're seeing that with the San Francisco 49ers in this recent run. But do you realize that 2 of the examples that have been thrown out there are from the 70s and 80s? That does nothing for me right now.
We're talking about the McMahon one and the Terry Bradshaw one?
Terry Bradshaw does nothing for me when you're trying to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but what if they had that defense and they had so you brought out that steel curtain defense now against Patrick Mahomes and you had
how'd the Eagles look against Patrick Mahomes last year?
Yeah, but they don't have that defense. They had a good defense. It wasn't the steel curtain. Okay. It wasn't. I mean, it wouldn't mean Joe Green and Jack Lambert and those guys. It was a good defense, but it wasn't those guys. No, your point's right. Your point's right. To win, it's been proven, and Mackenzie will tell you this, at a high level, you need a great quarterback. Goodness gracious. All right, we'll continue this. And are we? Well, yeah, we'll continue this. Do you know that, is it Sunday, National Hamburger Day?
Yes.
Hi, Mackenzie.
Sunday. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We got a sweet deal for you, somewhat in honor of National Hamburger Day, which makes sense. It falls on Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. And to celebrate that, Rebel Burger's got a sweet deal for you today on our website. You go to sportsanimalabq.com. 9 o'clock would be the suggestion because by 9:07, 9:05, they're probably going to be gone. You get $50 worth of Rebel Burger for just $25. They won top 5 for best green chili cheeseburger in Albuquerque, the magazine. They got burgers, chicken, salads, wings, all kinds of stuff that you can order online at rebelburger.com. What do you got going?
Yeah, so like you said, this Sunday we are celebrating National Hamburger Day. So if you haven't tried our green chili cheeseburger, we definitely suggest stopping by. Yes.
What makes yours better? I mean, is it just there's something? You don't have to tell me the secret.
Well, we do grind our beef fresh in-house every day, so.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
You have ground beef? Like I always got ground beef. What does it mean to
I've never done it myself.
Grind it? Like you take the big beef and then you grind it up into the ground. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
I don't personally
You've
do it.
never done it?
No.
It's kind of fun. I think I got delivery orders as well. At a text club, you can get a free order of beer battered fries. All you got to do is text REBEL, REBEL, to 855-912-1456. What else is going on over there?
We have 2 locations. We have one at the Rebel Entertainment Center, and they always have concerts going on. They have the piano bar, so you can stop by, grab a burger. And then we also have one on the west side, inside that Pizza 9 on Golf Course.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. They also offer grilled chicken sandwiches, onion rings, salad, all kinds, whatever it is you want on lunch, dinner. Eat in, take it out, and go have fun with it. It is our sweet deal. We got big plans for Memorial Day weekend. How are you going to celebrate National Hamburger Day?
I'll probably go to Rebel Burger.
And
yeah.
chili.
Yes.
That's the best. Well, it's always good to see you. Let me remind you one more time. Our sweet deal. You go to our website. That is sportsanimalabq.com. Go at 9 o'clock. These will go quickly. You click on the sweet deal icon. And for just $25, you get $50 worth of Rebel Burger. The way I look at it, it's $25 worth of free burger. Right? I don't know how else to look at it. Go do that. All right. It's great to see you. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. And always, thanks for stopping by, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
All right, you're in on the text line. Rome calling someone cringy is like Trump calling someone an orange ass. Okay. It's still pretty right, though. I mean, when Russell Wilson ends a press conference after getting just beat by 25 points, whatever, and it's just depressing. All right, is that it, guys? All right, Bronco Country, let's ride. And he gets up and that doesn't make you cringe. That doesn't It's the most forced brand-ish. Okay. It is what it is. Grady, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Grady?
Veteran hoers and rookie hoer of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
You remember your first hoe, right?
It was special.
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled a bit too, so it's one of those things. It's a skill.
Sometimes
it'll be
you need
acquired.
a little help.
I have confidence.
Yeah, he needed a little help on his first hoe. It's all right.
Hey, who didn't? So I want to talk about the flopping. And interestingly enough, I actually like the idea of a technical foul, at the pro level to reduce the flopping. And I would go even further. If you really want to reduce the flopping, don't find the players. The 30,000, 50,000, they don't care about that. Find the refs. Find the referee for calling flops, for making calls based upon flops. Because, see, here's the thing. You're trying to, or they're trying to change behavior that these guys have been conditioned since they were probably in elementary school. I get hit, I flop, I get the call, and that's every level they played at, that's what they've done.
So now you're really trying to, change their mindset. Well, you also got to change the ref's mindset. The ref's mindset, since they were little kids, reffing little kids' games, oh, this kid got hit. Oh, he fell on the floor and slid across the floor. It's got to be a foul. So it's the players. It's not only the players' behavior that needs to be changed, in my opinion. Yeah, start finding the refs. I guarantee you, $30,000 or $10,000 to a ref would hurt a whole lot more than to a player. Yeah. And it's also, and while they're at it, take a look at the calls as far as the superstar calls and the non-superstar calls. To me, that's even worse than the flopping. If you're going to call a foul on the 12th guy on the bench from the Pelicans, and if LeBron or whoever, insert your superstar here, if they do it, call the same foul. And again, these kids, since they were little, these players since they were little, have been accustomed to, I'm the star, I get all the calls. So again, if you want to start really changing some of this behavior, some of these in-game fouls, then you need to include the referees and folks that need to change their behavior as well. So that'd be my solution. So hopefully that was short enough and to the point enough, and I appreciate the time.
Good day. Appreciate the call. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like either one of them, to be honest with you. Right? I think I don't know that I need to put more and more and more on the referees. You like finding them for missing flops or calling, like now we're saying, I mean, am I going to start finding guys for missing free throws too? Like okay, so they're not going to make every call right.
They're not.
And now what are we going to go through and say, oh, you missed 3 calls here, you're getting fined $15,000 in this game?
Is it okay if there's some mistakes?
There's going to be.
Like, it doesn't feel like it's ever okay, and especially and it's challenged when you have your broadcast crews railing on it too, and not able to let it go and able to move on.
Well, but there's some more egregious than others,
yeah,
right?
To me, I think you can continue if the fine system is still in place. If you think something's egregious and needs to be fined, the flop, because you're always going to have moments, players going back and forth and trying to over exaggerate things. Think college basketball last year. Did you have a problem?
I did at times
with it.
Yeah.
And then what it does too is it means every time there's a non-call or someone goes down, even if they didn't, even if they actually just went down, because it's still athletics and people fall sometimes. Then you have an entire bench and coaching staff asking for a flop and saying that guy's flopping. Sometimes you just fall down.
And that's where I come in on this. And so to your point, did I have a problem in college? Yes. I thought there were times, like the baseline drive, where a guy was moving, right? Sidestepping, whatever, not totally on balance. There was slight contact, enough that would maybe knock you down, and it got called for a flop. And that's so. And I don't even know what the rule was supposed to be at that point, right? A guy, you're sliding full speed, your weight's imbalanced, you get brushed, can it knock you down? Now, are you trying to get a foul? I mean, you probably always are, but is it a flop? And then it's called a flop. So I did have a problem, and that's why I don't like this, because I foresee the same concept. I don't. To Grady's point, I appreciate the spirit in it. I don't know that I need to start finding referees for missing calls. I just don't, any more than I got to find players for missing key free throws. Do I want to incentivize guys for getting things right? Yeah, it's so hard. And the charge block is, I don't know, would you argue it's kind of the hardest bang call in basketball? And now I've got to add to that, I've got to somehow computate, if that's a word, or adjudicate, was he flopping? What was his intent? And I've got to do it in a split second. And was there enough contact? Well, he weighs 280 and he only weighs 240, so there's no way that shouldn't have knocked out. Okay, that's a flop. I just don't want to add that to the mix, and I think it will become more of a detriment than will it solve the problem. Now, how do you solve the problem? I'm not sure I got the answer. To your point, the reviews afterwards, if it's an obvious flop, then you get fined. He's saying, what's $15,000 to these guys? And he's not wrong. He really isn't wrong. But I don't know that I need to start finding the referees for bang, full speed, not knowing what a flop is, and they got enough, man. You know, we talk about this in football all the time. We keep adding more and more and more rules, right? Hands rules and feet rules, and you can't touch a guy inside the 5 yards, but was it 6 yards? And they're watching for so much. These human beings are human beings. They're going to miss calls, just like you miss shots, just like sometimes during a commercial, the hoe goes, right? I mean, stuff happens. No, but you see my point? Like, you shouldn't be fined for that. Bleep happens, right? Everybody at your job every day, well, maybe not every day because you're really good, but every once in a while you make a mistake. I don't know. Now, to his point, should the game be officiated the same for the 12th guy for the Pelicans as it is for LeBron? I know you and I differ on this. My answer is yes. You don't think it should sometimes, right? You think superstars have earned calls, right? And they get them. I get why it happens. But again, I'm going to bring the human element to the game. And it goes back to what you said. Are we going to be okay that there's going to be mistakes made? The human element, and I'll go back to what I said earlier, when a team gets on a run and the building gets electric, and I think the referees get caught up in that. I think they get caught up when Kobe goes to the basket or Michael goes to the basket or LeBron goes to the basket, and they just expect something different, right? All right, this is on the text line. This is on the Broncos stuff. Tony, what is to celebrate about Denver winning 6 games? That likely ensures a top 10 draft pick. Russell Wilson may be on the downside of his career, but he's cashing in. I've enjoyed watching him and hope he bounces back, but Father Time is undefeated. He's not that old, though, right? I mean, he's, 33? Yeah. Like, he should be in his prime. That's quarterback
There's
prime.
nothing to celebrate. Tony was saying he likes that people are picking them to only win 5 or 6 games. Yeah. The underdog thing.
This one says, and yet the Jim Rome established cringy adjective used to describe Russell Wilson's Let's Rise press conference statement worked Denver Bronco brand-wise as it got. I guess there'll be another one coming. Did it work? I mean, I don't know. Did it work? Is that what people up there say? Is that the brand? Are people saying Let's Ride?
If they're joking or they're trying to make fun of someone.
Yeah. So really, no.
Not at all. It did not go over for even one day, to be honest.
I mean, that's not even for one day. People didn't buy that crap the day after it was released. It was awkward, man.
When he's getting out of his tank with the number 3 jersey to go to OTAs for the first time, over.
What would you have said? So you're Russ, you come here, a new team, new brand, you're going to be the guy, they're building their total image around you. And they say, all right, Russ, here we got to cut it. Here's the thing. Bronco country, let's ride. What would you say?
If I'm Russ?
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of your help, and we're gonna keep looking.
Yeah, I'd say no also. Now maybe even just let's ride. Like maybe even let's ride would work, but the whole Bronco country, let's ride. Let's ride might have worked. Might have worked. The whole Bronco country.
But it's what they use. Broncos country is the thing they use.
Right, but never with Let's Ride, right? Before this?
But it's a promo team.
But I think this,
and he's
this
there
is where
holding the other stuff after the fact, saying it at the press conferences, yes. But in the moment, you're filming like preseason promos. I don't think anyone at that moment is saying, don't say this.
I might have.
It's easy to say after the fact when you've heard him at the press conference and stuff, but it's the whole getting caught up in the moment. You know, LeBron James, not 1, not 2, not 3. I got a pep rally in the moment, and then it's like the worst thing someone's ever done.
Kind of the worst thing he's ever done. When you if you asked him,
he's talking about conference NBA Finals appearances.
Oh no, I'm talking about Russ. Yeah, might be the worst thing LeBron's ever done too. Yes, I mean, wouldn't you agree? I don't know. I probably would say, I'm just not comfortable with this. Now maybe he was. All right, what do you got?
Because in the moment you're gonna be like, oof, filling a promo for like TikTok and isn't it being the thing people tear me down for?
All right, I got a guarantee for you. Which player in last night's Celtics Heat game guaranteed, quote, we can and we will win this series? That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Animal. Still right there, Pride and DeMartin for two. Miami shooting 43%, 4 of 11 from 3. It's loose again. Another turnover, and Tatum got tangled up. Butler's on top with a 4-9 game. It's Adebayo, 3 of 10, doubled. Horford's got the steal, hits the deck and fouled.
Kevin Harlan, courtesy of TNT, and the Celtics win over the Heat last night, 110-97 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA. Celtics stay alive. Miami goes back to Florida with a 3-2 lead after having a 3-0 lead. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. So, who's going to win the series, right? Who's got the confidence? Well, everybody's got confidence. But there was one guy after the game last night who kind of made a little bit of a guarantee.
We just got to play better, start the games off better on the starters, make it more difficult for them. They're in a rhythm since the beginning of the game, but we're always going to stay positive, knowing that we can and we will win this series, and we'll just have to close it out at home.
I don't know if that's a guarantee. Can you name that voice? Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler said that after the game last night, and now he's going to need some help. The Heat star had 14 points on only 5 for 10 shooting yesterday. Do you believe what Jimmy Butler said?
No.
Why not? Because he didn't have enough?
Maybe the Celtics do it. I think the Celtics are the first team to overcome a 3-0 deficit.
Ever. 150 times before there's been a 3-0 lead. And this will be the first one. Look, there's always a first.
There's one guy to stop him. If you get playoff Jimmy, 40-some-odd points, there you go. But I'm taking the Celtics to Game 6.
Well, there's always a first. I mean, DC had his first hoe today. There's always a first, right? But they believe in this. All right, 505-246-0610. Looking forward to catch up with Nick Nee coming up here at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll talk some golf. Give you a couple other things that are going on. The NCAA golf tournament starts today for the men. Lobos will be there. That's at Grayhawk in Scottsdale. Lobo women finished 9th in the nation, best finish in 25 years, and men will go at it today. Mountain West Conference baseball tournament is going on. Air Force blew San Diego State out in a mercy rule, and then San Jose State did the same to Fresno State. Mike said the Aztecs got mercy rule, Jeff. Has this been the worst Mountain West Conference tournament ever? 2 games, 2 blowouts of the Built. Neither contest went the full distance. So I know it's been something. So your 2 teams right now, just your Air Force and San Jose State. Like who would have thunk that, right? Where'd that come from? That's where they are right now. Carl's in, saving the Triple Crown. Jeff, I hear training is better today. Nutrition is better. Yet you have horses being load managed and skipping Triple Crown races, only running 2 of the 3 jewels at most. 50 years ago, Secretariat won all 3 races, and then, before the end of June, was back on the track in the Arlington Invite. I don't get it. I don't get it either, Carl. I don't get it either. JJ, how are you going to save the Triple Crown? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I do not have an answer for that one.
All right, here's one. This is an old theme for you. I know you love this one. It says Lobo basketball equals Lobo baseball. It says, Jeff, both clubs started like their hair was on fire, then both limped to the finish line. We need to investigate why these squads are so tired at the end of the season. My theory is they're practicing too much and starting practice too early, and they have nothing left in the tank once the real playing begins. It's from James.
Right on. Too much practice.
Too much training.
Need less practice and less training.
Because, San Diego State and FAU and Miami and certainly UConn.
Fun fact.
Didn't practice.
Those teams don't even get together as a team until the first game of the season. And they just show up in the locker room.
They
and
gather in the locker room. They
introduce
get
each
their
other to. They're like, hi, I'm starting point guard. Oh, fantastic. I like to play center. Oh, that's cool.
Cool. What's your name again? Okay. How do you pronounce that?
Yeah.
All right. Can I get number 4? Oh, he has number 4. Ah, you got 14? All right. Here's your jerseys. All right, Kellis, let's go out and let's go win one. I'm going to tell you, UConn and San Diego State and FAU and Miami, teams that went to the Final Four, practice just as much, go just as hard. That's just, the theory that 18 to 22-year-old young men in incredible shape with insane nutrition and training and recovery are somehow tired because they're playing 2 games a week and they started practice in October and by March they should be done. Now, I get the emotional drain on it, and I get that teams are banged up and there's injuries. And James, I wonder how are you a load management guy? Do you feel like the NBA should load manage? Where are we? I always wonder, because we always look for reasons, right? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? How did that? And so if that's your theory,
are teams
cool
and players tired at the end of the season?
Yes.
However, they're all and good teams figure it out.
It's amazing how teams that are winning somehow find energy, isn't it? It's amazing how success somehow fuels you, and the teams who got beat, we were just exhausted. We were emotionally spent. I don't know. So what you're telling me, James, is they got tired in January because they played 2 months or 3 months because they practiced too much? Because this team turned, the second half of the season, they were sub 500, right? Right? If they were, what were they, 14-0? So, I always love that theory. Well, they practice too much. Or they don't practice enough. What do you want? What's the right answer? The right answer is whoever won, whoever had the best players. Isn't that always the answer?
Yeah.
No, seriously. It's like, well, they shouldn't have started practice in September. They should have waited. It was the Lobos' overall record. It was 22-12. So if they started 14-0, they ended 8-12, right? Yeah. It is kind of amazing that they went 8-12 after a 14-0 start. So what happened? And Richards looked at that. What happened? Well, defensively, they got exploited. They got into a league. They started league play, and the league was really good. They were 8-10 in league play. Right? That's what happened. All right, my favorite story of, in a long time, is Michael Block, the club pro who finished top 15 at the PGA Championship, who had the hole-in-one, played with Rory, got invited to the Charles Schwab. How did he do on day one? We're going to talk about that, get you a golf tip, because I'm going to guess you got a tee time. 3 days off, beautiful weather. We live here. I hope you have a tee time or two. Nick Nee, the director of golf out at Sandias Golf Club, is going to be with us, get a golf tip and talk some golf. Next, we'll recap the PGA Championship. One of the best there is on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Zone.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Sports Animal.
Great week last week of the PGA Championship. Brooks Koepka was the champion. Michael Block might have been the story. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. We'll get back to phone calls in a little bit. They're playing the Charles Schwab in Fort Worth, Texas, and Adam Schenk and Harry Hall are your leaders right now, -8. Going to talk some golf. I feel like I've been on a Nee family reunion yesterday or last Friday. While he was on the golf course, by the way, did you know this? He was playing in the Lobo Club golf tournament. Nick Nee was with us, the director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. The next day I went to a gathering. I saw his brother Peter, got to spend some time with him. 2 days ago, I was in the airport and ran into my former broadcast partner, Danny Nee. But the Nee I really want to see is Nixon Nee. That's Nick's son, who I understand was out striping it out at Canyon Club, 6 pars, birdied 17, which is damn near impossible. He's the director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. Nick Nee joins us this morning. I feel like I've been on a Nee family reunion. What's happening?
Not a whole lot. Living well. Happy Friday, and probably the lesser of all the Nees, but happy to be here.
No, hardly. Nixon birdied 17 out there?
Yeah, he lives the dream. That kid plays a lot of golf and gets to enjoy it. So happy for him, but Don and that team at Brian at Canyon Club allow the kids to go play and kind of support junior golf.
17 so hard just to putt it, JJ. I mean, just if you walk away without a 3-putt, it's a win. All right, what was the biggest story for you out of last week? Was it Brooks Koepka winning? Was it the Michael Block story? I mean, for you as a PGA professional, a club pro, that had to be a great story for you. Do you know him at all? Have you ever crossed paths?
No, we have a kind of mutual friend, me being on a PGA lead, cohort 7, a gal that works with him in the California section that knows him. I don't know him personally. I think that obviously that's a storyline. I think for me as a PGA professional, obviously it's good. He's upholding the brand, and what a great representation of the PGA of America that Michael Block is. But as the tournament went on, it was just great to see the competition. Victor and Brooks battled it out, and other than 16, it was great TV and great drama. So I think overall, great championship. Obviously, like I said last week, love to see a PGA Tour player win over a LIV player, but at the end of the day, it's major championship golf, and you want to see the best player ultimately win. And I think, obviously, with Brooks' track record in majors, it was inevitable, that he would win one here this year, if not real soon.
Yeah, he was fantastic. If you don't remember 16, Victor Hovland was in the fairway bunker, and he kind of bladed it, and it buried into the side of. And I know there was a lot of talk about the way the course was kept, and there was just thick grass, and it disappeared. It was the second player who did that, and he had to take an awkward drop, a horrible lie, double bogeyed 16, and lose the tournament by 2.
Yeah, it's tough to see for Victor, but what a great competitor. And, you feel for the guy. He's going to be there for a long time as well. He's played some really good golf, obviously, at Augusta, then at Oak Hill. I think the course set up great. You want to see a test. It's major championship golf. It's not going to be, 15, 18, 20 under par in 3 rounds or anything like that, or, 25 and after 4. It's going to be a test, and you want to see it be a test because those are the best players in the world. So you got to set it up to make you get penalized when you miss a shot, and that's what it did to Victor. Unfortunate to see, but at the end of the day, Brooks played unbelievable golf for 4 rounds. I think he's a well-deserving champion.
He's the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club. Nick Nee is with us this morning on the opening drive.
And Nick, one of the things I think we're seeing too is when you're at the highest level, it's managing everything. It's not just having your game right for Thursday and Friday, but Michael Block figuring out that he's doing interviews, he's all over the place, and the mental capacity that you have to have to deal with that, the extra interviews, this or that, and oh, by the way, they still want you to play golf one more time.
Yeah, JJ, great point. I think I struggle playing with my own son sometimes, kind of compartmentalizing, and Michael's able to do it. Look at him yesterday at Colonial. He's taking selfies with people. But that's just a PGA professional. We're there because we love the game. We want to grow the game, and we want to create excitement, whether it's coaching or teaching or just having fun on the golf course. He's taking selfies with guys yesterday in the background. It's cool to see, and I think it's a representation of what a PGA of America member really does day in and day out is serve the guests and grow the game at the end of the day.
How would you handle this, Nick? And Michael Block's 2 over today through 5. He's plus 13. He's in last place. And like he said, the enormity of everything. And he claims he only hits a bucket of ball a week, which, if that's the fact, that's unbelievable. But I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, I've heard that he's been offered $1 million to go play on LIV. I've heard that he's been, Ping has come at him with a close to $1 million sponsorship offer. How would you handle some of that stuff? Because he's never going to be hotter. He's never going to be able to cash in more than he is right now. He's got the exemption into the Canadian Open. He's playing in next year's PGA Championship. But if someone came at you and said, all right, here's $1 million, go play, the 9 LIV Tour events, what would you do?
Yeah, I don't know if ever or will ever be in that situation. So I don't quite know what I would do. I think at the end of the day, you have to take care of number one. That's you and your family and your kids. I don't know if you guys have seen Michael Block's son is an unbelievable golfer too. The guy won, a U.S. Open qualifier, I think. The kid's 18 years old and just a great player. But you never know. When they throw money at you, you gotta take care of number one. That's you and your family. So I don't know that I'd go to LIV being a PGA member. I think looking at the back end stuff like we talked about, that worries me long term. But he's changed his life forever, and I think in doing so, he's gonna live the fruits of his labor pretty handsomely for the next couple of years.
It's amazing how the kids of the youth golf pros have these unbelievable, beautiful swings. It's they just come out of the womb that way, or is it something in the water? It's daddy teaching them.
Great question. I don't know. It's in the water. I tend to stay the heck out of the way for my son, and I think a lot of other PGA members understand that we just want to be dad at the end of the day and have fun and play some holes, shoot some shots, and let someone else coach him because you just don't want to cross that threshold. And, you'd like to think that maybe they're watching some of the golf swings as they grow up, and hopefully that translates long-term for them.
That's one thing I learned in junior golf, JJ. The pros kids are just beautiful, beautiful swings. All right, 3-day weekend for many. Beautiful weather for most of us. Some of us, hopefully a few of us, are going to go play golf. What do you got for a golf tip to make us better?
Yeah, greens are back in shape. They're starting to get some growth with the temperatures the way they are. I want to do a speed putting drill, so tees every 3, 6, 12, and then 24 feet. And your goal with 5 golf balls is to get it within a 2-foot radius of the hole. On the 3 to 6 footers, if you want to challenge yourself, try to make 3 of the 5 balls to move back. But really what you're working on is just pace control. Get it around the hole, especially when you get to 24 feet. Worry about what the pace is like and get it near the hole so you can kind of limit the big numbers or limit the 3-putts. And that's really what this drill is designed to do. Do it with a partner. Grab a cocktail, come to San Diego Golf Club, see our turn house, grab a beer, work on the putting drill. It's a great way to kind of add some competitive nature to it if you got a friend and really work on your nerve putting. But at the end of the day, speed is paramount in my opinion. And if you don't have the proper speed, you're gonna lose a lot of shots on the green.
You're gonna be 3-putting all day, 4-putting all day, especially in some of these tougher ones. It's a great drill. All right, what's going on out at San Diego Golf Club? How do people get involved?
Yeah, again, sign up for our daily deals. That's the red ticket online at sandiegogolf.com. You'll get a text message with all the deals that are dropping. Our twilight starts at 3 o'clock. We just added a new menu item to our grill menu. Come out this afternoon. Come out this weekend. It's a beautiful weekend. We got great temperature. Sit on the patio, enjoy a cocktail. We hope to see you at San Diego Golf Club, but at the end of the day, get out and play some golf, enjoy it. Hope everyone has a safe and happy Memorial Day. Come to San Diego Golf Club, see us. Come say hi to all of our friends, our PGA professionals in the golf shop.
We'll catch you next week. Always appreciate it. Have a great long weekend. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. You as well.
Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club. Sounds like he was outside. Might have even been between shots. Like, he's all right. It's my shot. I got to go. I know last week, I didn't know he was on the golf course last week. And then I ran into some people. Yeah, no, he was playing with us in the Lobo Club tournament.
Not too bad.
It's good living.
I need to get one of those teams where everyone else can do the hard work.
All the hard lifting.
I'll just drive the cart.
There's a lot of knees out there, by the way. Good people. All right, we're going to reset you when we get back. We've been on a lot of places. We've talked about the hoops last night. We talked about quarterbacks. What you're going to hear from Devontae Adams when you come back. He's the only guy that was first team All-Pro with 2 different teams in 2 consecutive seasons. He had some critical things to say about his current team, why that was valid next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home.
Game 6 on a Saturday. You got the Charles Schwab. You got United playing tomorrow. You got Isotopes at home. You got NFL talk. What you got as you go into the long weekend? What do you do Memorial Day weekend? Is it a family cookout weekend? And by the way, is the word cookout? Is it barbecue? Is it grilling? What when you go outside? What do you do?
The answer is it's all the above.
All right. What do you call it though? Like what's the term that you use? I think I use grill. I think we're gonna
Barbecue.
grill. You say barbecue?
Yeah, kind of my default term.
All right, that's cool.
Am I barbecuing? Not necessarily, but that's what I call it.
I'm not sure. You gonna get to a ball game this weekend? I think we're gonna go out tonight. Yeah, we've been so dang busy, dude. Like Addie and I were talking last night. And my daughter grew up at that ballpark. She was at her first Isotopes game when she was 9 days old. We've had the same seats since they opened the ballpark. And we just, between her games and practices and my travel, and it's like, so we're going to the ball game tonight. You been out there yet? Have you been to an Isotopes game, DC?
No, I actually have not, but my 4-year-old is definitely ready to do it.
All right, I got a guy, and I usually have some tickets if the station doesn't, so let me know. Because we just, I feel bad. Like we love the place. We just haven't made good use of it. So like tomorrow she's got a graduation party, and Sunday she's going to a concert. She's going to see All Time Low. I took her last time, so her mom was taking her this time. But it was one of her favorite bands. So it's like, yeah, let's go to the ball game Friday night. So I'm kind of pumped. Just she and I go hang out. This was how old's your kid?
I have an 18-year-old that just graduated from Rio Rancho,
and then you
a
got a
4-year-old.
Yeah, your 4-year-old. And I've told Austin this. So we went, or I told JJ this with Austin. We went through cycles, right? Addie, I took her from like when literally carrying her to the ballpark to ballpark was, all right, we get food, and then is it time for Dippin' Dots, right? To then she went out to the rides in right field, and there was a tipping moment somewhere about 9-10 years old. Or it was a Tuesday night, and I said, what do you want to do for dinner? And she says, Dad, are the Isotopes home? And we went out to the ballpark, and we sat in our seats. We probably did 5 innings that night, and I started teaching her baseball, like little things, and then it was like, Dad, let's just go out to the ballpark for a few innings. And you have season tickets, so you go out, and it's minor league baseball, so you do kind of leave early. And we just had some of the coolest talks, just sitting there watching the sun go down over the mountains. Me and my little girl, those were like boom. So I'm kind of pumped about going out tonight.
You know, I used to take my daughter to Kauffman Stadium
Yeah.
for Royals games.
Yeah.
Same thing. It was awesome. Like when they start asking you the questions, and it's not like, can I get popcorn? It's like, why'd he throw there? It is such a magic thing. I dig that.
Yeah, like watch the third base coach. Dad, what's he doing? What does all that mean? Probably most of it means nothing. But now we have our own little signs, and there's an indicator, right? So she and I have our own little thing, like we'll play third base coach, and the indicator, and then the next sign after the indicator, and all this other stuff is just a bunch of gibberish, and she kind of digs that part, and there's all kinds of little things. Her favorite players used to be by walk-up music. Cool, down with it. But whatever, she loves going to the ballpark, and she knows all the ushers. And I wonder, I gotta find Trump. They move stuff around. There was a years and years ago when she was about 4. I threw out the first pitch. I brought her out with me, and they have a picture of her in a little Dodgers pink hoodie, and so they put it on a collage. And this collage picture up on the wall, it was Tommy Lasorda, Steve Garvey, Bill Russell, Matt Kemp, and her. And it was so cool. And it was up on the stadium. Yeah, it was cool. So we're going out tonight. What do you got going? Big weekend? What do you got? Big plans? Well, very busy.
Yeah. Soccer, golf. Golf for the 4-year-old.
Yeah, that's good. You taking? Is a 4-year-old golf yet?
Yeah. Not as like out on a round, but
did you do the Cubs thing with? How was that?
It is interesting because that first moment, man, with anything, it's just getting kids settled down.
That's right.
It's give them a few moments.
It's
give
different.
Them a few moments.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Enjoy it.
All right. Hey, what was it? A few weeks ago, I know I was out of town when this story went down. When the 6 NFL players got suspended for betting, right, for violating the NFL's gambling policy. Jameson Williams, who was a high draft pick of the Lions last year, was injured most of the season, barely played at all. Now he's going to be out for 6 games. So he put out a statement yesterday through his agency. And basically he said he didn't know the rules. Quote, this is explaining what happened, when he got suspended. It hit me out of the blue, and it hit a couple players on my team and around the league out of the blue. I wasn't aware of the situation, but as it happened, I took it on the chin. I was ready to move forward. This thing went on, I got the consequences. That's been my whole plan, moving forward from things and just looking at the better days. Okay, that's his quote. So how can you be aware of a league's gambling policy? How is it on you? There's seminars, they walk you through it. Now, if you sleep through the meeting, is it on you? Yes. Evidently, they were betting on college games. You cannot bet in the facility, period. How do you feel about NFL players? Do you think they should be able to bet on college football?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I do. So we talk about it's a small window. They got a small career. if these guys, I don't have a problem with them betting on the NBA, and you're.
Is it potential connection?
Yes. Yeah. So Jameson Williams went to Alabama, right? Is that right? I'll bet he still knows the equipment guy and the strength guy, and if he gets a tip that the left tackle's out, and that's gonna, he thinks he's gonna somehow sway the spread, I think that's a problem. Now you're gonna tell me that, well, he might know LeBron, and LeBron's gonna tell him that he's out tonight, and that might be true too. But I think it's just too close. I think there's just too much potential.
Should it be something across the board? Should it just be, if you're a professional athlete, you can't do this?
You can't do what?
Bet.
So I don't think that's right. I think that's too handcuffing. I just think pro football players are too close to the college game. You're 1 degree away from knowing inside stuff all the time. Now you might tell me that's a bunch of crap, and I know the answer is, well, the gambling's all over. No, I got that part, and they're all making money because of the gambling sponsorships. That's part of the reason that their salaries are so high, right? Is because the league and the teams are making so much money, so they are profiting from it. And I get the thought that it's hypocritical that they shouldn't be able to do it because it's everywhere. But when we talk about integrity of all these things, right, it just feels to me, you're a year, 2 years out of USC. You know the quarterback, you know half the guys on that team. To me, there's just a potential that I don't. If you can tell me it's just optics, that's fine. But I think for the length of their career, they could back off betting on football.
I don't think that's a crazy stance. I think that when you're in it, you should have some more restrictions. Even if it's something that you just can't do it here, that's fine. Because the one thing too with gambling and the money that's in it, and these leagues getting behind it, you still have to police it. And these stories that are coming out, and they're like, "Oh no, gambling's so bad," but it's also showing that there are people paying attention, that there are people watching this to make sure that that you don't have everyone trying to pull one over on the books.
They know what's going on with your phone all the time. Yeah. All right. The other, there's a bunch of other stuff. I want to hear the Devontae Adams sound. And Devontae Adams is the Raiders wide receiver. He came over last year from the Packers, and it was an interesting year for everybody, right? He had a great career with the Packers, with Aaron Rodgers. Went over to play with his college buddy, one of his best buddies, Derek Carr. And the Raiders had a disappointing season. Then they cut ties with Derek Carr. So Devontae Adams it was pretty critical of his current team.
Well, I mean, it's not really setting the record straight. I mean, I think a lot of things get taken out of context when you don't have an interview to look at or people don't know the full story. So at the end of the day, I mean, there's going to be opinions, and there's going to be, you're not always going to see things the exact same way. But when you've earned a right to have an opinion, or you see things a certain way, or even, going into the operation this offseason, obviously, I poked fun at having Aaron here a lot, and why would I not talk about having, best quarterback to play the game and a guy who I have a lot of history with. So that's who I had on my mind initially. So, that was never a slight at Jimmy. I didn't even know we were, pursuing Jimmy. So it had nothing to do with any of that.
All right. That's Devontae Adams. He said the other day, because this was kind of a retort to what he said. He said, as far as the front office, I haven't had a relationship like what I have with those guys. So you can grab something and run with it if you want to just get clicks. And that's what people often do with me and things that I say, whether I misspeak or if I speak up. But at the end of the day, I'm a Raider. I'm excited to be here. I love my head coach. I love the general manager. I love everyone. And he went on. And Josh McDaniels is the head coach. And he said, you know what? He's earned the right to speak out. We hit, as fans, as people in the media, JJ, we walk this line all the time. We were talking about Russell Wilson earlier, right? We put these guys behind a microphone. What do we really want? What is really fair without criticizing? Do you want the cliche? Well, just got to go out, take one game at a time, and we worked hard and we're working the off season and we're prepared. Or do you want to hear what a guy really has to say? And when a guy tells you what he really has to say, then you criticize him for not being a team guy or not. What is it we want from these guys?
I think with athletes, I want them to be open. There are a lot more areas now where they're comfortable talking. Podcasts, former athletes.
Where they can get their whole...
that they're going on and they're talking, but then don't spin it like when people start questioning something you said, when people might push back on one of your opinions, don't do that. Don't be like, oh, it's all of you taking it out of context. It's all of you just needing to write headlines. If you want to be open and speak about it, there's going to be pushback. Just don't get upset about it. If people want to go, oh, why are you questioning your organization? Why are you calling out the organization? Well, you did that. So what are you upset about?
You know, it's actually really interesting because I think they are more comfortable, and they should be, with their own podcasts. But even then, it gets pieced. You do an interview, you're taking a 17-second soundbite, right? And people are telling the story they want to tell. I respect Josh McDaniels, the head coach, for coming out and saying, you know what? He's got an opinion, and he's got a voice, and he's earned it. And you take it and you grow from it. People who were, I don't know, super critical. I think sometimes, and especially JJ this time of year, I'm not gonna lie, in this business, and I've heard it over and over again. Oh, it's a dead time, and I think that's lazy. I think it's a crutch. I think it's sports talk excuse. Oh, there's nothing going on. There's always something going on. There's always something to talk about. But I think people use it this time of the year just for fodder and for clicks and for conversation. But I appreciate it. By the way,
there are definitely things that stand out. But if a player is questioning his organization, people are going to talk about that, and it's not necessarily everyone else trying to blow something up if you're putting it out there.
And was it legitimate? I mean, these questions his organization, and what is it
Well,
legitimate?
and I think we're all sitting there going like,
yeah.
There's, as you run down the NFL, you say, all right, I understand where this team is. Oh, they just drafted who they think their franchise quarterback is, and then you get to a team like the Raiders, and I really don't know what the expectations for that team are. Like, who are the Raiders? Where are they right now? Because I thought they were making a playoff push, bringing in Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, reignite this with Josh McDaniels. Well, that didn't work out for them. Oh, but they go kind of the same route quarterback-wise and get a veteran in there, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I don't know what to make of the Raiders or what to expect from this football.
Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is an upgrade from Derek Carr?
No, I think it's a push.
3 years, $72.75 million. 3 years, basically 73 million. What is that?
It's another season where you're wondering, is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be ready? Because what's the only thing that's held Jimmy Garoppolo back? Availability.
I would argue with you.
Things have broken against him.
Right. No, he wins. He's unspectacular, but he wins. Right? So spectacular is winning. Like, he's got to be Ned James's guy, Jimmy Garoppolo, right? And that's right up your alley. I $24.5 million a year. Now, I do not think Jimmy Garoppolo is an upgrade from Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jeff, look at their winning percentage. It's about winning. You're right. If you're 100% right. Now, Jim Garoppolo, I think, has been in better situations than Derek Carr. But no, if you want to go by win percentage, then it's inarguable. Jimmy Garoppolo is better. I just don't think he is better. But could he be better in that situation? He's worked with Josh McDaniels, the head coach in the past. He's Josh McDaniels' guy. That we'll see. But do I think they upgraded? Like, if they were going to get rid of Derek Carr, and I know they took a big swing at Aaron Rodgers, they needed to hit a home run. A guy that was such an organizational guy, that was a favorite in the locker room, favorite in that community, favorite amongst that fan base. I'm not sure that they hit it, but we'll see. Because all Jim Garoppolo does is go into situations where he's not wanted and win. Right? I mean, when he went into San Francisco last year, they didn't want him. It was like, well, I guess. I mean, what else are we going to do? And he was winning until he got hurt. He took a team to a Super Bowl. Took another group to the NFC Championship game. I mean, dude just wins. Do I think it's an upgrade? I don't. Opening drive. Glad you're with us on Friday. I'm going to get to your correspondence. Want your thoughts on the quarterbacks as well. And LeBron may have surgery. not only did Jim Garoppolo have surgery, LeBron may have surgery. What's the prospects on that? We'll do that when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
Jim Rowe. Y'all remember Javi Baez?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it...
Creeper. I don't remember who it was. It was about a week and a half ago. Nuggets were up on the Lakers, I think 2-0. Was it the second game where I came in and I said it was the first time LeBron looked like a 38-year-old man to me? Like a 38-year-old player. Remember the second or third game?
Yeah, when he's fumbling the basketball out of bounds.
He missed the dunk trying to style, and then he missed the layup at the end of the game. I think it was game 2. And somebody called in or texted in and said, I think we're going to find out that LeBron was more hurt than they're letting us know. And I said at the time, I think you're right. And according to Shams Charania, who is that, by the way?
Shams.
What is that?
There's Woj and there's Shams.
Okay. He may have surgery. LeBron's got a torn tendon in his right foot. He hurt in February. He's getting reevaluated and could have surgery that knocks him down for 2 months, which would be the summer. He said he heard it pop back then, and he came back on March 26th. And look, those kind of things. If it's a tendon and foot injuries, I'm not going to consider him your typical big guy, but foot injuries, he's a pretty big dude, right? I mean, foot injuries tend to be a problem for basketball players, and I don't know, man. There's not one speck of me that thinks LeBron is retiring, even though he hinted at it, right? Is there you?
Not at all.
Okay. I firmly believe he's got 2 years left. Right? I told you after last year, I think Tommy was done. He said he was going to play till 45. He hit his target. LeBron, in my mind, put a target. He wants to play with Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
And his son has got 1 year at USC, will be in the NBA in 2 years, and I think LeBron's got 2 years left. Okay. Now, can he play longer? Could he? I think he could. I think he's still playing at a caliber that puts him certainly near the top of the players in this league. But, at some point, man, who's undefeated? One dude. Father Time.
Never lost.
I don't know. Is this a big deal? It kind of is a big deal, don't you think? They start piling up.
Yeah, they do. And I think for LeBron, what we saw out of him this past postseason, I still think you can get that level of it's. Even if he has a better foot next year, he's going to pick his spots. There'll be moments that he can still take over a game, which is insane. When you think about what he did in Game 4, still being that good. And the question for the Lakers, I think it's, if you're asking the question, I think then you know the answer. Like, this has to be Anthony Davis's team. Like, he has to be the focal point night in and night out. But Anthony Davis is really good. He just doesn't have that same impact as like Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic. Like, those are centers leading teams. Yeah. And that's what he should be doing right now, but he just doesn't play that way. So that's why I think you seriously, in this window, which is 1 year window, kick the tires on going all in. And the names you throw out there on a 1 year run, Kyrie Irving, like James Harden, like, you have to consider that. Or do you just go, hey, we are good enough we're going to play the long game and sign a couple of these guys to long-term deals, play it out with AD and LeBron, and whatever our ceiling is next year, so be it. But we're going to also put some focus into the next 2 to 3 years.
I think LeBron's got 1 year left on his deal before he has a player option. And I think, like I said before, and I'm not the only one who said this, going into the draft, not this next draft, but 2 drafts out, will a team overreach for Bronny because they know they're going to probably get LeBron with him? And I think somebody will. And we'll see how good Bronny is. I've heard total mixed reviews on LeBron's son. And we're going to see it at SC. Kenson on email, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. How presage was this, Jeff? OD callers are prime. Here we go. Who said once the season ended, we're going to find out LeBron James is more banged up than we were being told in the tournament? Yeah, that's 100%, Ken. 100%. James is in. He's the one with the theory that Lobo basketball practices too much. Jeff, you can poo-poo my theory all you want, but I haven't heard any better. And this wasn't a great Mountain West Conference. As you mentioned, when you have Air Force and San Jose State in the winner's bracket, this might be the weakest the league has ever been. Well, in baseball, I don't know if that's right or not. I look, is it possible that San Jose State and Air Force are really good? I honestly don't know. I haven't watched a lot of baseball, but I do know in basketball, this league was pretty freaking good. In fact, the champion got to the championship game. You had 4 teams in the tournament, did you not? Only one won the game, Joe. Yeah, I know. I will argue that was not the deal in basketball. Now, it might be in baseball. And I'll also remind you, in baseball, for whatever you think preseason polling is worth, Global Baseball was picked last in their league, right? I know that.
They were.
Yeah. Lobo Hobo says, live it up this weekend, Jeff. Is there live this weekend? Live golf? Rod says, I hope H&R Block, or whatever the hell his name is, enjoyed his 15 minutes, Jefferson. We'll never hear from him again. That's Michael Block. You will. He'll be a story next year at the PGA going in. But yeah, no, that might be his 15 minutes.
So I take the money and run.
Whoa. Take the money and run. All right, you got more coming in on the text line. I'll get that to you. We're going to wrap up everything you need to know going into this big weekend. And you still have time to get in if you want at 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821.
All right, here you go into a long weekend. And if only the day was over now. You know what I mean? Here you go. Text line says, we were talking about gambling, and I asked you, do you think pro football players should be able to gamble on college football? And initially you're like, yeah, they're not playing college football. My thought is they shouldn't. I think they're just too closely connected. I think the potential for insider stuff, you know, your buddy's calling you, hey, dude, just so you know, if you want to put a few shekels on it, our left tackle's out, and so is our center, and nobody knows it, but okay, that's right. Text line says, no one employed by an NFL team can bet on anything, period. I think too much emphasis is put on betting, including by the leagues and sports talk shows, obviously due to the revenue gambling creates. I'm of the belief people should be allowed to bet on anything not directly involving them. I don't disagree with that. Now, do we put too much emphasis on it? We talk about what you want to talk about, and most of you have a few shekels on something. Most of you in today's sports world who are sports fans are at least interested in line. If you're not like at the end of the game last night, I didn't bet the game last night, the Heat and the Celtics, but I knew the line was 8 and it got down to 10 on garbage time, and Miami had the ball, and I'm like, they're going to cover the freaking spread after getting run out of the building all night. That's just where my mind went. I know a lot of your minds went that way too, right? So how many ends of games you see a guy throw up a 3 and you're like, oh, I wonder what the number was? You ever watch a game in Vegas? You ever watch a game at the sportsbook?
Oh, yeah. And it is fun.
It's a different concept, though, right?
The ebb and flow of emotion is amazing.
Right? And there'll be an 8-point game, and a guy hits a 3 at the buzzer, and people are going nuts, and you're like, what, dude? Well, it was a spread. So, I don't know. Do we over-talk about it? No. We talk
No, it's there, and you can't ignore it. And because it is such a draw, and it is an interest.
I mean, y'all...
You might not like it.
Or
it's
you
been
might.
so taboo for so long, but you cannot ignore the role it plays in sports and then people's interest in it.
I just saw this. This came down 21 minutes ago. Do you remember the incident with Davante Adams when he pushed a photographer during the season? Remember back in October, he was in Buffalo? He pushed a photographer. No, it was in Kansas City. Do you remember that? And we talked about it, and it just seemed like the guy was in his way. The story came out 20 minutes ago. Davante Adams has been hit with a civil lawsuit stemming from that incident that took place following a game in October. Right? It was a tough loss to the Chiefs. Adams shoved a credentialed media worker as he was walking off the field. The shove was hard enough. It knocked the guy over. And the guy who got pushed, his name is Park Zebley, claimed to have suffered whiplash, headaches, a minor concussion. He was at the game as a freelance photographer working for ESPN. So after the game, Adams was charged with misdemeanor assault. I don't know that I knew that. Now here we are 7.5 months later, and Zebley has filed a lawsuit. This is the reporting by the Kansas City Star, the newspaper there. So, quote from Zebley, this is the photographer. A municipal misdemeanor battery charge is not sufficient. I'm looking for justice. You can't shove someone down and walk off like it didn't happen. Not in real life, end quote. How do you feel about this? Do you remember it? I remember a conversation. I need to see it again now.
You're looking for money, not justice.
Right?
Okay.
So not only is Adams a defendant, Zebley, the photographer, is suing the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Jackson County Sports Complex Authority, and Landmark Events Staffing, the security company.
You get a summons.
The Chiefs are named because he believes the other team, the host team, along with the Jackson County Sports Complex Authority and the staffing company, quote, failed to provide the requisite amount and quality of on-field security, end quote. As for Adams, he's suing the football player because he wants money. No, wait, that's not what it says. He's suing Davante Adams while the Raiders are being sued for one count of vicarious liability and ratification and one count of negligent supervision. Are you bleeping me? So the Raiders were negligent in their supervision of their grown-ass man walking off the field. Do you remember after this, the guy said he feared for his life because his identity leaked online, and that led to harassment. There you go. Oh, here's the incident. He's walking off. He didn't need to shove him, but he barely shoved him that hard. That's flopping. Dude should get fined for flopping. That's how it should go. I'm sorry. Nope. You flop. You owe him money. Thanks to Nick Nate for being with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then Isotopes and Round Rock after that. DC, great first couple of days. Glad you're with us, man. Have a great weekend. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Big weekend for you?
Huge.
Enjoy it. We're back on Tuesday, off on the holiday like you on Monday. Be good to each other. Have a great, safe holiday weekend. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you on Tuesday.
Want to know my secret for a summer
We would
break
like to
that
thank the
doesn't break
following
bank?
sponsors
Listen
for
up.
making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters